Let's look at some global news now, starting in the United States, where Hurricane Irma has been downgraded to a tropical storm after making landfall early Sunday as a Category 4 superstorm. The state of Florida's power utility announced that nearly 6 million people were without electricity.
Irma tracks in a northerly direction into the states of Georgia and South Carolina. The hurricane created flash flooding conditions in several towns, with a number of tornadoes touching down in the state as her ferocity came ashore.
Irma made landfall in the Florida Keys as a Category 4, packing winds of close to 200 kilometers per hour and bringing sweeping rains to parts of the state, while several towns suffered significant storm surges as a result of the winds, and flash flood warnings were put in place for several locations. These were some of the dramatic scenes in the Florida Keys, while parts of downtown Miami were underwater as a result of a significant storm surge. In central parts of the state, trees were uprooted and several power transformers exploding, leaving millions in the dark, possibly for weeks.
The President has directed the full resources of the federal government to be brought to bear to support the efforts of Governor Scott and state and local officials across Florida, and we will continue to do that. It's important to remember this is and continues to be a very dangerous storm, and we urge everyone within the sound of our voice to heed the warnings of local officials, whether that be to shelter in place, or if in the farthest northern parts of the state there's still an opportunity, according to local officials, to move out of the way and to evacuate to a safe shelter.
10 people are reported to have died due to Irma's impact in Cuba, with much of Havana underwater, bringing the total death toll from this storm to over 30. Several islands in the Caribbean, including the French-Dutch territory of St. Martin's, continue their slow recovery after overwhelming devastation that has led to thousands of evacuations.
It's tough, very tough. We had just arrived. There's a big lack of water. We wash with the water from the swimming pool, which is not very clean anymore. People are helping each other, putting boards up to clear and clean. Yesterday we cleaned the streets, so yes, there's solidarity here.
The UN's relief and coordination agencies are working with all hands on deck, while its meteorological agency points to the broader effects of climate change.
Indicate that hurricanes in a warmer climate are likely to become more intense, and that it is more likely than not that the frequency of Category 4 or 5 hurricanes will increase over the 21st century.
A massive evacuation order of close to 6 million people, and was the second Category 4 storm to make landfall in the United States in a matter of weeks. Jacksonville, Florida, close to the border with Georgia, is facing record-setting flooding as Irma now moves into those northern states of Georgia and South Carolina. Some good news: no deaths so far in Florida as a result of this storm, but it could take weeks for the power to be restored to the almost 4 million people affected. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.